$200?
He left owing $200 in rent.
Okay.
On a week-to-week, there's a 1 week, as I understand it, a 1 week...
There's a 1 week nothing. Don't go crazy.
Okay.
He owes you $2,652.
Okay.
You've taken care of this before you came to court, sir. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Good.
Your
Thank
Honor?
you very much. That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out. For us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. President, sworn in judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Ms. Cervantes, these people used to be friends of yours. According to your complaint, you sold them a car, and they were paying off the amount that you had loaned on the car every month. And you were letting her drive it because he didn't have a license, right? He didn't have a license.
Yes.
How many months did they make the car payment?
3.
From when to when?
August, September, October.
And what amounts were the car payments?
$262.43.
Now, to whom did they make those payments?
They gave me the money and I paid the payments.
To the car company, the loan company?
Yeah.
How many months did you make payments on the car?
Years. I was paying years. It was almost paid off.
Okay. And when you sold them the car, how much was left on the loan?
I don't recall the loan at all. I think it was $7,000 that they paid off when it was totaled. I don't know what the loan itself was.
You said that the car was practically paid off when you sold it to them.
To me, that's less than a year's payment to be paid off.
Not at $262 a month. If the payout was $7,000, you're not really good in math.
No, I'm not.
Did they also pay for part of the insurance?
They paid the portion of the insurance.
How much?
It was $3.
How much did you pay a month towards the insurance?
$150.
Okay. And your agreement was once all the payments were made, the car was going to be theirs. Is that right?
No. There was supposed to be a down payment of $1,500 to $2,000 at the beginning before he even took the car. He couldn't make that, and she was pregnant, and I said, go ahead and take it. When he got income tax, there was to be a down payment.
I don't want to hear down payment anymore, madam. You didn't loan them the car, and you didn't lease them the car. They were going to purchase the car from you.
The difference is they didn't put a down payment like I put a down payment.
Sometimes you don't have to put any down payment. Are you following what I'm saying to you?
Yep.
Perfect. So this is your claim. Your claim is that he totaled the car, right?
Correct.
And you had no driver's license.
Correct.
Why were you driving without a driver's license?
I went to the store to get the baby formula.
That's, you know.
Yeah, I know.
You know? Or a little one. Send her to the store to get the baby formula.
She was at work.
She had no business going to work if the baby didn't have formula. If there's only one person that drives, and I guarantee you've driven that car other than to get the baby formula. How did you get to work that day?
Actually, I was pregnant the time of when the accident happened, so I wasn't even working.
So how much of a liar is he that you're married to? He's the one who said you were working, he had to go to the store to get the baby formula. This baby born yet?
No, she used to babysit, Your Honor. I'm sorry. When I meant she was working, she was at home babysitting.
So I said, let her go to the store. In any event, you totaled the car.
I was rear-ended. The car was...
You totaled the car. But for the fact that you were driving it without a license, you wouldn't have been in an accident.
Correct.
Now, you got an insurance check in the amount of $4,000, is that right?
Yes.
And how much was the payout on the car?
They had to pay, it was a total of $7,000.
How much did you pay?
Total amount, I don't know the total amount.
Well, how much are they coming after you for?
They're not coming me after, it's paid for.
By whom?
Progressive.
By insurance.
My insurance covered it. They gave me 4 and the rest was paid off for the car.
What did they give you 4 for?
The amount of the car, I guess that...
So they paid out a total of $11,000 on the car? 7 to pay off the loan and 4 to you?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, nice. So this was a really good accident for you. Now, what happened is, according to you, they came to you sometime after the accident and asked to borrow $1,000. You gave them $1,000. Then you went to collect the $1,000, and they said, you gave us this $1,000 after you got this insurance check, this windfall. We were paying for the insurance on the car, right? The check should have been ours because, you know, we had possession of the car. And you kept the check, so you gave us this $1,000 so we could go put down a down payment on another car. So then you went over to their house to get back this $1,000. And it is your claim that while you were there, things got physical and he grabbed you by the arm and he pushed you. So you're suing him for the $1,000 and for the push. And the defendants say that they're counterclaiming because they want that insurance check.
Your Honor, at no point in time did I push her. I actually have a police statement.
I want to look at it.
Okay.
First of all, Ms. Cervantes.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense that they would borrow $1,000 from you at all.
They borrowed $1,000. I have the canceled check.
Oh, I know that you gave them $1,000. I said that they didn't borrow $1,000
It's
from you.
written a loan.
I don't care when you wrote the word loan. You're slick. I don't care when you wrote the word loan on the check when you got it back. There is no question in my mind that you owe them an obligation, considering the fact that you had made a deal on this car, to at least share the proceeds with them partially. After all, you had been paying on this car for years. They had only been paying on the car for 3 months. So it seems to me $1,000 would be perfectly reasonable for them to expect you to let them have as part of the financial input they had in securing this $4,000 insurance check for you, because they paid half the insurance and they were paying the monthly car payments. That doesn't excuse the fact that he was driving without a license. So I don't believe that there was a loan, period, because it doesn't make sense.
They made payment on it.
They did make payment on a loan. Let me see where they made payment on a loan.
I have text messages here.
That says what?
That they made a payment on the loan. He brought the $100
Show me.
payment.
I don't believe, I'm not going to believe him either. Show me the text message where they say that they either made or will make a $100 payment on this loan.
There's 8 messages here, but here's the one for $100.
That's all I want to see. Why would you say to her, we'll give you like $100? I hope you understand.
We were helping her out because her husband, or her boyfriend, I'm sorry, had left her. And we were also helping by taking care of him. He was living with us as well.
Yeah, because he got him kicked out.
She
Don't speak.
And she was in financial need, so we were just helping her out with money.
I hope you
so
understand it's not helping me out. That's helping you out.
In any event, if they weren't smart enough to get $1,000 from you, they should have been, because you owe them $1,000. No question. You made a sale of this car. It was not a lease. However, the title had not passed yet because they had not fulfilled their end of the obligation.
Right.
So actually, if you had been out any money, certainly you would have been entitled to this entire amount. But you got a windfall of $4,000. You sold them the car for $5,000.
I didn't sell them the car for $4,000. They were supposed to put a down payment.
I'm not interested in your down payment story anymore. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You burglarized his house.
I didn't burglarize anything.
Yes, you did. You went into his house, and once you got into his house, you started trashing his property. That's burglary.
And later today,
Who'd you sell it to?
Huh?
Ha! Is not an answer.
I'm sorry. I had a private dealer sell it.
Did you have any profit?
I
Is not an answer.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Vanessa Cervantes says former friends Rick and Christina Porras owe for an unpaid loan. The couple is countersuing for the amount of an insurance claim.
All right, now you want to tell me why you went over to their house?
I went over there to get payment because Christina said Rick will have the payment, and I kept calling Rick and he wouldn't answer, so I went over there to get my payment.
But you had already gotten a $4,000 check.
This was a loan he was paying. He already made $100 on.
Give this back to her. She shouldn't get it. I'm interested, Miss Cervantes. I read your complaint very carefully, and you said that when you went over there to collect this payment, and they weren't forthcoming with the payment. Let me see what you... He left the door open as he walked away to go back to sleep. I went to his house and told him I was going to sit there until I got my money. I then started grabbing some of their DVDs, threatening to pawn them. That's what you say right here.
Right, for payment.
You're not allowed to do that. That's burglary. That's burglary.
That's
you can't go in. He
payment.
has an absolute right to grab you and throw you out of his house. You're trashing his house.
I didn't trash his house.
Yeah, you did.
He trashed his own house.
Yeah. I grabbed some of their DVDs, threatening to pawn them. We exchanged words, and when I called his wife, he grabbed me by the arms and threw me to the floor.
That's incorrect, Your Honor, and I have the police statement.
I'd like
of
to
what
see
happened.
the statement, please.
It's also a statement from him. He also was there at the time, and he stated at no point in time did I put my hands on her or did I throw her down.
What property did you tell the police he had of yours? That's what you told the police, property, not money, not a loan. Said he had property.
I didn't say property.
Well, that's what so the police are lying. Twice, it says it.
There was no report made.
Yeah, it's right here. Boris called the police, and when I arrived, Cervantes I'm speaking, was standing outside in the driveway in front of the residence. When I talked to her, Cervantes, she stated that Porras had some property of hers and that she had come over to claim it. I asked her if she forced her way into the house, and she said no. She had been invited inside. Mr. Porras stated that Cervantes had gone upstairs into the front room and pulled their DVD player off the shelf. Mr. Porras said that Cervantes then stepped on their DVD player as it laid on the floor. Mr. Porras stated that after Cervantes had stepped on their DVD player, he pushed her out the front door and closed it to protect the rest of his property. Okay. You had no right to be there.
I was getting my payment.
You had no right to be there. You burglarized his house.
I didn't burglarize anything.
Yes, you did. You went into his house, and once you got into his house, you started trashing his property. That's burglary. You had no right to be there. He had every right to throw you out, and he did. So you don't get paid for that. You also don't get paid $1,000, which, as far as I'm concerned, was a windfall for you. You got 4. You gave them 1. Now, as far as you're concerned, you did not fulfill, uncross your arms, you did not fulfill your end of the contract that you had with her, which was that you were going to finish paying for the car and then it was going to be yours, right?
Correct, because it was totaled.
She was like a loan company. Once you finished paying off the loan on the car, you were going to get title to it.
Right.
But you didn't have title to the car yet because you hadn't fulfilled your total obligation. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you don't get the rest of the $3,000. She's already given you $1,000.
We weren't countersuing for the car payment. We were countersuing for defamation of character and property damage.
There's no property damage.
Just a second. I'm going to read you. You know, you've got to be very careful about what you write. This is your answer. I'm going to read it to you. We are countersuing in the amount of $3,000 for money that belongs to us. We made a deal with Vanessa that we were purchasing the Dodge from her. We made all of our payments and paid the insurance. Yet when Rick got into an accident that was not his fault, Vanessa kept the majority of the money. We paid for the car and the insurance and feel we are entitled to all the money from the insurance company. She only gave us $1,000. We want the remaining $3,000. That's all you wrote.
I'm sorry, I had a countersue. I left it.
That's the countersuit that you wrote. That's what you signed. That's what your wife signed. That's what you're not going to get. You got $1,000. What happened was you drove around this car for 3 months and it didn't cost you anything because you got back what you put into it, right?
Correct.
Plus, don't drive around in a car without a license. Do you have a license now?
No, ma'am.
Why?
Because I owe Department of Transportation money that I haven't been able to completely pay off.
Do you have a car now?
I don't know, ma'am.
Don't let him mess up your record.
I carpool him.
Don't let him mess up your record. Do you understand?
Yes.
You look like a very nice, very quiet lady. Goodbye. You too.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I felt that it was a loan.
No, it was money given to us
Can we borrow the money? And I said, yeah, it's a loan.
because we were making car payments and the insurance payment.
They're just liars.
I guess money changes some people.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lothridge versus Lothridge. Step forward, please.
22-year-old Christopher Lothridge is suing his ex-wife, 22-year-old Carolise Lothridge, for unpaid parking tickets on a vehicle they both own.
Mr. Lothridge, this is your former wife. You have 1 child together. You have physical custody of that child, according to what I read here, and it is your claim that prior to the divorce, your wife accumulated parking tickets on a truck that was subsequently given to you in the divorce decree. When you went to re-register the trucks, you ascertained that there were parking tickets on the car, parking tickets that had accrued, you believe, when your wife was driving the truck. You want her to pay those parking tickets. Your former wife says that the parking tickets were not accrued on that truck, but were accrued on a car that was hers, that you stole from her and sold. And she is counterclaiming for 2 things. For that car, the property that was in that car, because she said she had a whole bunch of things in that car, including a $500 television set, which I don't believe for a second. And she says that you assaulted her at some point, and she'll tell me about that. She wants damages for that. So, show me the tickets that were accrued on this truck.
Would you like the receipts that I paid the tickets?
No,
or the
I
actual
want to see
tickets?
that they were on the truck.
They were not on the truck. I never said they were on the truck. I said that her record, the truck is under my name and her name. So when she gets tickets, no matter what vehicle she's driving, that affects the record under my truck. When I went to renew my tag in 2006, they said she has unpaid tickets and a suspended license. You cannot renew your registration. I said, well, what do I have to do to fix this? They said she has to pay. She has to get her record cleared because her name is under the truck. So I offered to pay half.
Just a second.
Yes.
That wasn't made clear in your complaint.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If I did not sell the car, she would have not made payments on it.
Well,
It
and
would
you
have
know
come
something?
back.
If I had taller parents, I would have been 5'7".
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christopher Lothridge says ex-wife Carolise Lothridge owes for unpaid parking tickets. Carolise is countersuing for stolen property and an assault.
So this has nothing to do with your truck. The parking ticket she got was on a car, a Toyota.
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened to the Toyota?
The Toyota, when we separated, which was October 14th, 2005, I gave her 2 months. I said, if you get a job and you take over the payments, you can have the car. 2 months went by. She never got a job. I continued to make the payments for a car that I didn't drive, I didn't have anything to do with. So I decided, and it was all legal because the car was under my name as well. I went and got the car with my own key, and yes, I sold the car because I didn't want to keep making payments and insurance payments on a
Who'd
vehicle
you sell it
that...
to?
Huh?
Is not an answer.
I'm sorry. I had a private dealer sell it.
Did you pay off the loan?
Yes.
In full?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any profit? Is not an answer.
Yes, I had a profit of $2,000 that I ended up putting back into my truck because my transmission...
I don't care whether you put it back into your truck or not. That's so you pay your parking tickets out of it. She's not paying your parking tickets. You took her mode of transportation, you sold it, you made a $2,000 profit, and now you're fetching about some parking tickets that you wanted to pay for a couple $100? Pay them yourself. Pay them yourself.
I did pay him.
Good. Did you give her back half the $2,000?
No.
Why not?
Because I
that's
didn't
joint
have to.
property. That's marital property.
I didn't have to.
You didn't have to? I don't have to order her to pay for your parking tickets. You don't have to? Of course you don't have to, but you had key. You went and got her mode of transportation. You sold it. Now, if you said to me, I sold it and I lost money because the loan outstanding on her car was more than I got for it when I sold it, I'd be sympathetic to you. You made a profit. And you didn't say, well, because I made a profit. These were vehicles that we had together so that the court in 2007, when you divorced, couldn't grant her ownership of one car. You got one, she got none. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You got the truck, she got no wheels because you had sold it at a profit.
Your Honor, if I did not sell the car, she would have not made payments on it.
Well,
it
and
would
you
have
know
come
something?
back.
If I had taller parents, I would have been 5'7".
It would have come back on my credit.
If I had taller parents, I would have been 5'7". Bottom line is, the objective fact is, you sold her car at a profit. That is joint property, and you chose not to give her half the property. So stop complaining that you had to pay a few $100s in parking tickets. That's your problem. Now, that was in 2005.
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't want to hear any nonsense about the $500 television that was in your Toyota Corolla when he stole it. Because if he stole your $500 television set, you would have complained to the judge who didn't finalize a decree until 2007. Wouldn't you have?
I actually did, and the judge just asked him, you know, where's the TV? And he said he didn't have it.
So it's already been adjudicated. So if it's been adjudicated once, it can't be adjudicated again.
Okay.
What?
In our final divorce, what she's talking about, February 20th, 2007, she brought up the car, she brought up the materials in the car, she brought up everything she's talking about, and the judge adjudicated it.
Listen, why aren't you paying attention?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com or call 1-888-800-JUDY.
I said you adjudicated it once, you can't adjudicate it again.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
You get nothing. You didn't do the right thing initially. When you took her car, you should have given her half the profit because that's marital profit. You kept the $2,000 for yourself and put it in your truck. Nice. And then you have the audacity to come to court and ask for the parking tickets on the truck. Goodbye. Have a good life. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
They crashed the jet skis. I mean, they crashed them.
I wanted to get it fixed for you because we did wreck it.
You're lying, Sarah. That isn't what you said.
No, just
No, I'm agreeing.
She's disagreeing with you, agreeing with...
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Grace, you rented a room from the defendant. The tenancy lasted 1 day. You want your money back, and in addition to your money back, you want some punitive damages you claim for invasion of your privacy. Mr. Rossi said you left of your own volition, you broke the terms of your tenancy, and you don't get any money back. Correct?
That is correct.
Okay. What kind of place did you rent to her, Mr. Rossi?
Room inside of a privately owned home.
You're the owner.
Yes.
So you rented her a room in your house with kitchen privileges, I assume?
Correct.
How much did you charge her in rent?
$325.
And what other money did she give you?
First month's additional for utility expenses.
How much did she give you in total?
$575.
Had you advertised for this room?
Yes.
Where?
Buffalo News.
Are you legally able to rent in your home?
Correct.
You are legally able to do that?
Sure.
She signed the lease?
No.
How come?
There was no written contract.
Why not?
Didn't feel the need to.
If you have a tenancy, then you have a contract. It says what your rent is, what security deposit, what it's for, that it'll be returned, what you're going to do with the security deposit, put it in an interest-bearing account. I mean, you want to do all these...
There was no mention of any security deposit, Your Honor.
Well, what was the other $250 for, sir?
Money that she chipped in for the utility expenses the first month.
$250 for your utilities?
Correct.
What utilities cost you $250?
There was no mention of any additional security deposit.
Mr. Rossi, had you ever rented a room before?
No.
Never?
No.
Okay. Who advised you legally?
No one.
That's what I figured. Okay. Now, Mr. Grace, what date did you move in?
January 1st.
When had you seen the room?
3-4 days before it.
And you spoke to Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Who else lives in the home?
His girlfriend.
Just the two of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How old are you?
19.
Your mother. Sit down. Yeah, what happened on January 1st when you moved in?
He helped me move my stuff into the apartment, and he was
What
acting very
apartment?
strange.
It was a room.
I'll get to that.
What apartment?
His apartment.
I thought it was a house.
No, it's not.
What is it?
It's an apartment that he is renting.
It's an apartment in a building that he's renting?
No, it's just an apartment, like a house, but he's renting.
From whom?
From his landlord.
Is that true?
It's a privately owned house, Your Honor.
Do you own it?
I don't own the house, no.
That's what I asked you before. Did I ask him that question before?
That's what you asked him.
And what did he say? He said yes.
He said, yeah.
You are a renter.
Yes.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Rossi?
Self-employed contractor.
How long have you been a tenant?
6 years.
In the same place?
Correct.
Did you have permission of your landlord to rent?
Yes.
Show me.
I don't have anything in writing.
Really?
No.
What's your rent?
How much do I pay for rent?
That would be the question, Mr. Rossi.
$470.
Plus what?
Utilities?
So your rent is $470, you're charging her $325.
Correct.
Go ahead, Mr. Grace. You say he's acting weird. He is weird.
He was not charging me $325. He was charging me $350.
Okay.
I paid him up front the day before I moved in for $250 for utilities, and the day that I moved in, I paid him $350 for the first month's rent. He refused to give me a receipt saying that I paid him the $350. He said for tax reasons. Then he showed me and my father all these gas bills that he owed. He did not say that he couldn't pay them. He just said that they were too high. And that night, I fell asleep that night. He came in my room. His pit bull first, he didn't tell me he had a pit bull. His pit bull burst into my room and started attacking me, started jumping all over me, biting my arms.
If a pit bull bit your arms, madam, you would know it. Mr. Grace, I don't want you to make up any stories
It was
to
under
embellish.
the covers.
You understand?
Okay, yes.
If a pit bull bites you all over the arms, you would have major scars or some scars.
I was under the covers.
Oh, okay, so his dog came into your room and it scared you.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Then he came in my room smoking pot. He got the dog off of me. And he sat down next to me and he started talking sexually to me. And he
That's a lie.
No, it's not. He's the liar.
You felt uncomfortable there, is that right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Prior to your moving into his room, where had you been living?
At my father's.
Does your father live with your mother?
No.
How long had you been living with your father?
For about 3 years.
Why did you leave your father's house?
I wanted to become more independent.
Were you working?
No, I was going to school.
Full-time or part-time?
Full-time.
Who was going to be paying your rent?
I was.
If you're a full-time student, how are you going to pay your rent?
I am on SSI.
What's the nature of your disability?
Depression, anxiety.
And you take medication for that?
Yes.
You were going to try to make it on your own?
Yes.
Didn't work out. And the next day, you said, I'm going back home. Now, when you left, where did you go?
I didn't go back home. I called up my mother and I was crying.
Okay, and so did you go to your mother's house?
Yes.
And you stayed there?
Yes.
Is that where you're living now?
No.
Where are you living now?
I'm living back at my father's.
Okay, good. Everything okay?
At my father's, yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Rossi, Aside from the fact that you illegally rented a room in a place where you were a tenant and you have absolutely no proof of the fact that your landlord gave you permission to do that, I'd like you to tell me what were your out-of-pocket expenses for the 24 hours that Mr. Grace lived in your house? Is not an answer, Mr. Rossi.
Out-of-pocket expenses while she was there for 24 hours?
Yes.
There were none.
Perfect. Then if she left after 24 hours, why didn't you return her money to her?
Because I had to spend time to try to gain access to get myself a new tenant. If I was able to
what
have...
kind of nonsense did he just say? What kind of gobbledygook did he just put together?
I'm not catching it.
You're not catching it. You're not catching it.
You are
Mr. Grace.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You don't look like an unintelligent person. A little slimy, but not unintelligent.
And later today...
Tell me what they were.
It was payment for money that I loaned.
That's not what I asked you. That is the conclusion.
The circumstances?
If you don't remember, say I don't remember. Remember that I will test you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 19-year-old Allison DeGrace claims former landlord Stephen Rossi caused her to move out after only one day. Allison says during her first night there, Stephen entered her room while she was asleep.
Mr. Rossi, my question was, you illegally rented a room, she moved out, you had absolutely no loss as a result of her moving out. If you were aware of the fact, Mr. Rossi, that when she moved in, that she was on medication, a fact that was evident to me, then why didn't you say, look, this is not working out. She's unhappy. I'm going to give her back her money.
I wasn't aware that she was unhappy, Your Honor.
Listen, she moves all of her things into your house. She comes there with her father?
Correct.
With her father. I mean, if you're an intelligent person, you don't look like an unintelligent person, a little slimy, but not unintelligent. You understand that there's a certain dynamic here going on. This was what month? January in Buffalo? It gets very cold, but I'm sure your brain thought out enough in Buffalo in January to understand that there's a certain family dynamic going on here. So if it didn't work out and she was unhappy, she was stressed, whatever it was, you say, here's your $600 back. I'm not out any money. It didn't work out, especially since you were doing something that was in violation of your tenancy. You probably fell behind on some bills, and you probably figured you could get somebody to shore up a little bit, and you did, and you got a $600. You managed to pay off the bills you were behind paying off, and you say you can't have your money back. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Everything he said was a complete lie.
The girl's on lithium. She's on Prozac. She's only 19 years old.
I'm not on heavy medication.
I think she moved into a place. She moved out the following day. It's her loss.
I'm not crazy.
I think the girl's nuts.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of D'Antuono versus Holdren. Step forward, please.
26-year-old hairstylist Stephanie D'Antuono is suing her ex-boyfriend, personal trainer Thaddeus Holdren, for an unpaid loan to buy a car. Thaddeus says the money didn't become a loan until they broke up.
Mr. D'Antuono, I've read your complaint. You claim a loan to the defendant who was your live-in boyfriend for a period of time. Is that right?
Yes.
It was a loan for a car?
Correct.
And any other expenses?
Yes, for work that needed to be done on the car.
Mr. Holdren said there was never a loan. His position is that he played the role of house husband.
Yes.
That you have a child that he took care of, and he was a personal trainer. He gave up some time in order to be able to accommodate your schedule, and there was never talk of a loan until two of you separated. So when did you start to live together?
We began to live together only after I had given him the loan. It was in August.
Tell me about the loan.
Thaddeus approached me about loaning him some money for a car that he wanted to buy. I had the funds to help him out, and we discussed it in detail. That
Well, what were the details?
How he had to pay me back. There was no confusion as far as...
Well, no, don't tell me there was no confusion. Just tell me what the agreement was. You said it was very specific, so tell me the agreement.
I agreed to loan him the money if he agreed to pay me back in full.
Is that as specific as it went?
Pretty much, yes.
Go ahead.
He agreed to pay me within a certain amount of time.
Well, that's more specific. What was the
Yes.
amount of time?
A couple of months.
Okay.
And when he didn't, he told me he was having some problems and wasn't going to be able to pay me at that certain time. So I was upset, but I agreed to allow him more time if he would give me payments. whenever he had money, if he could give me some cash or, you know, whatever he was able to do.
So?
So he didn't. He failed to pay me.
When did you move in with him?
He moved in with me.
When did he move in with you?
That was about a year later.
So 1 year later, he's made no payments on this loan, and then you move in together.
Well, he...
Just answer my
I'm
question.
sorry. Yes, that's right.
Okay. And you lived together for a year.
No, we did not. We only lived together for about 2.5 months.
Your Honor, I lived with her longer than that.
He was at my house on a regular basis, but he did not live there.
Fine. When did that start?
Probably around the time that I gave him the loan. You know, he was staying there maybe a couple nights a week.
More than a couple nights, Your Honor.
That's not correct.
It's over 2 years since this loan was made.
Yes.
And over that period, you have not gotten any payments.
He did pay me $150.
When?
In April of 2001.
Is that right, sir?
I don't know if it was 2001, but I paid her $150. But that's not including everything I did for her and her son. You know,
What did you give her $150 for, Mr. Holdren?
Because, I mean, if I'm with her, I'm living with her, whatever, I expect to do something, you know. I mean, taking care of her son and taking care of stuff around the house and stuff.
That doesn't answer my question, Mr. Holdren. What was the $150 for?
Just for her.
Well, tell me how that came about, the $150 payment.
She gave me the money and things happened. Hold on.
Mr. Holdren, you're trying to think about the right answer. I don't want you to think about the right answer, sir. I want you to think about the truthful answer. You said to me, I gave her $150 when I asked you what it was for. You did a song and dance. Now, I'm asking you the circumstances surrounding you giving her this $150 in March.
Well,
if you say I don't remember what it was for or the surrounding circumstances around it, I will understand that.
Well, I gave her money a couple times, so the $150 is like me giving her money on a regular. I mean, not on a regular, but I gave her money, you know, like any other boyfriend would do. It wasn't like I was giving her $2,000 or you know what I'm saying, like big money, but
Do you remember the circumstances surrounding the $150 payment? The answer is either yes or no.
Yes.
Then tell me what they were.
It was payment for money that I loaned him.
That's not what I asked you. That is the conclusion.
The circumstances?
If you don't remember, say I don't remember. Remember that I will test you. If you don't remember, say it. If you remember, tell me.
I don't remember.
Did he give you any other money during the course of your relationship over the last 2 years?
He paid me $100 after our relationship had ended. This was this past April.
What was the $100 for?
For payment from the loan that I gave him.
Did you give her $100 after you separated?
Yes.
For what?
That was for part of her thinking that I owed her all that money. So $100.
That was
part of me owing her the money.
That was part of her thinking that you owed her the money from the loan?
Right.
Oh, good, that makes it easier. So you did, Mr. Holdren, make a payment to her for this $2,000 loan.
Right.
And you made at least one payment. Is that right?
Right.
And that was made within the past year or so?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to allow you in 30 seconds or less, Mr. Holdren, explain to me why this was not a loan and you don't owe her any money.
Okay, I'll start off with this. We made an agreement when we met. Well, after we met, she has a son. He's 4. Well, he was 4 at the time. And her job is very demanding, and she has different hours every day, like early in the morning sometimes and late in the evening sometimes. And her son goes to school early in the morning. She couldn't take him to school, so I would take him to school, get him up, get him dressed, pick him up from daycare, bring him back with me, and wait till she gets off, and he'd hang out with me, whatever, for the period of time, whatever day it was.
So I'm listening. Keep going.
Yeah. I mean, I did everything. I was like a kindergarten cop with him. This whole thing to me is just like she was pimping me through the whole thing. Like, you know, she's my female pimp.
That's a nasty thing to say.
So that's how it was, because I was doing everything, but she still just seemed like I owed her this whole $2,500.
Well, let me ask you this question, Mr. Holdren. How much rent did you pay?
I didn't pay rent at her house.
How much did you contribute on a regular basis for food for the house?
Depending if I went out to eat or...
No, in the house.
Little.
How much did you contribute regularly towards the utilities?
None.
So you were basically living rent-free. You had no expenses.
Your Honor, I have my own apartment, too.
Where is your apartment?
At the time, it was on the other side of town from where she lived at, on the west side.
Which side is nicer? Her side?
Yeah.
Mr. Holdren, Anything else you want to tell me, sir?
I just felt like I don't owe her the whole $2,500. I mean,
So you don't think you owe her the whole $2,500?
right.
Tell me what part of the $2,500 you think you owe her.
It would really be hard to say because
Well, I want you to think hard. I mean, it was your statement that I don't owe her the whole $2,500.
I don't know, because the time that I put into the relationship, not only with her, but her son too, it was like I couldn't really tell because I was working in the morning and in the afternoon, and my schedule was flexible because I was a trainer. So I, arrange it where, I could make it a better.
Mr. Holdren,
Yes.
what part of the $2,500 do you think you should be given credit for, sir?
I don't know.
So I guess you'll have to leave it up to me, right?
Well, I was hoping you'll feel my side of the story as far as me taking care of her son and everything. Because
No, Mr. Holdren, I'm going to make it very, very easy for you, sir. If there is a contract that provides, even an oral one, that you loaned me this money for the car, and I'm going to work it off by taking care of your son at $1.75 an hour while I'm taking care of him, that will be my contribution, so we're going to take that off the car loan. That's an agreement. But after the fact, you don't make that sort of an agreement. You don't sit back there and scratch your head and say, well, I did all these things for her. Therefore, I shouldn't have to owe her that much on what was originally a loan. Do you understand?
Yes.
That's just a lot of double talk that you're doing for me now. $2,500 was the original loan, and you paid her $250. So judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,250. That's all.
Parties are excused. Now, in the matter of Burton versus York, parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Burton, how long did you and Mr. York live together as roommates?
Approximately 4 months.
Did you move in with him? Did he move in with you? Or did you move in together?
I moved in with him.
Had you known him before?
No, ma'am, I did not.
You answered an ad?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get along okay at the beginning?
Yes, ma'am.
And according to what I read, the defendant's mother showed up for a visit. You had some sort of an altercation with her. Mr. York ejected you from the house, told you to leave. You did. And you claimed that you left some property there, a laptop computer and a camera, and you want him to reimburse you for that or to give you the property that you left behind. Mr. York says that you and your father, as well as Mr. York and some other friends, helped you load up your dad's truck, and you took the camera as well as the computer. The only thing that you left behind was some furniture, which ultimately you took. Is that right, sir?
Not exactly. He did leave his stereo equipment behind also, and receivers.
Did he ever pick that up?
Yeah.
When?
The next evening on the 28th, I believe.
Okay. So when did your mom come to visit, Mr. York?
Thanksgiving Eve, 2 days before that, so it was the 26th.
And what kind of an argument did you get into with his mother?
It started out as I was being judged by her, judgmental words and so forth.
Like
and
what?
Like, oh, you're just a bum, or, lazy, whatnot. So that's what began the altercation, and it just escalated from there to quite an immense proportion.
Was any drinking involved?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I was drinking. That was part of I was just an old drinker, or just an old drunk, or whatnot, is what she wanted to tell me that I was after knowing
but
me
you had
for
been
15
drinking.
minutes. Yes, yes.
Drinking, was
Yes,
that a
ma'am.
pattern, Mr. Burton?
It was a regular, yes, ma'am. It was a regular occurrence.
Did you work?
I did until I got laid off.
What
and,
kind of work had you done?
I was worked at Telespectrum and got laid off with about 40 other people.
Your drinking have
service.
anything to do with it?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
He did get sent home one time from drinking and then going to work, and they smelled it on his breath.
Don't recall
How
that.
long did you work for this company?
3 months, and it was right at the 90-day
Before
period.
that, where did you work?
Before that, I worked at, actually just moved to Arizona from Alabama, and I worked at, a gas station or whatnot. And
Okay. Now, what was the most expensive item that you had in your home?
probably my stereo receiver.
And what's the second most expensive piece of equipment you had?
That would have been my digital camera.
How much was the camera?
And the accessories contained in the case would be $2,492.82.
And what's the next most valuable piece of equipment that you had?
Actually, that would be my computer.
And how much did you pay for that?
$3,376. I was actually incorrect in the order, I'm sorry.
And the stereo?
And the stereo would be $3,600.
Okay. So there was a big altercation around Thanksgiving, and he told you to leave. What did you do when he told you to leave?
Pretty much called my father, and
And how far away did your father live?
he was about 40 miles away, probably.
Okay, so not very far. Is that right, sir? You went to pick up your son?
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened when your father got there?
My father got there. I proceeded to go out the back door because things were so intensely ambitious there between Kevin's mother and I and stuff. I just sat out back.
Okay.
And essentially my father began loading some of my stuff that was packed up in the garage into the trailer that he brought.
Well, what was in your room?
In my room was my camera. It was in the closet, the case, just my bed and clothes.
What about your clothes? Did he take your clothes?
No. That was pretty much left. He just, my father just had got the boxes and so forth that were stored in the garage as, you know, just temporary storage.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
So you didn't take any clothes, any underwear, underpants, toiletries, medicines, nothing? No pictures? Didn't take any of that stuff?
No, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes.
You seem to indicate that you don't have his camera, that the camera was taken. When was the camera taken?
I'm not positive. He had a lot of stuff in my house. A lot of stuff.
The day that his father came, did he leave his room intact?
His room was always a mess. It was never
No, was it
organized.
intact? Did he go into that room to take any property and
He was mostly in
put
the
it
den
truck?
collecting his laptop, his video camera, and inside of the living room, the great room area, where he had his Bose equipment, and it was all packed up and boxed and
You mean he packed it up while his father was on his way?
On his way. And it was his choice to leave. I did not force him out. I did give him an eviction notice. He kept on talking to me. And
I'm just curious about what happened to his camera and computer.
I do not have it. It's not at my house. He showed up the Monday after that weekend with 2 cops and a ride-along that came along. He looked in the fridge. He looked in my bathroom. He found a 40-ounce in the fridge that was cracked open and 10 wire hangers out of the laundry room.
Could you step up, sir? I have a few questions for you. You're Mr. Burton.
Yes, ma'am.
It seems to me from what I've read and from what he tells me that the 3 most valuable pieces of property that he had was stereo, camera, and a computer. Now, common sense would indicate that when you're moving out of a place, as long as they're portable, which these things are, then you take the most valuable things first. Doesn't that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you explain to me why that didn't happen?
Well, I was more concerned for my son's well-being than I was for his personal stuff that was in
But
there.
you took a lot of property.
We took the stuff that was out of the garage, yes, ma'am.
Right, but nobody prevented you from going inside, sir, to take the property out of his room, his clothes and his underwear. Anybody prevent you from doing that?
No one prevented us from doing that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're going to be dead or you're going to kill somebody.
I don't drink and drive anymore.
You're still drinking, sir, because you were drinking Thanksgiving of 2002.
Yes, ma'am, I was.
You're going to hurt somebody, or you're going to hurt yourself. Your father's not going to be happy. He's going to have to come and identify you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jeremy Burton says ex-roommate Kevin York owes for the return of personal property. Kevin says Jeremy is making up a story.
Now, most people who are logical put the stuff that they don't use, that they don't need, in boxes, in storage, in a basement or a garage. Isn't that what most people do?
ma'am.
And the things that they use every day, the things that they value the most, they keep closest to them. So what I don't understand, sir, is why you and your son would go and take the property out of a garage that he doesn't use and leave $10,000 worth of equipment in the house when you weren't prevented from removing it. I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it's usually not true.
Well, ma'am, I had one trailer, and we wanted to load the heavy stuff out of the garage first and get the last stuff later, and I had a bad knee at the time. I didn't want to load the other stuff on
camera?
first. Ma'am?
You had a bad knee, you didn't want to load the camera, but heavy boxes that you wanted to load?
The camera was actually in my bedroom. You know, as far as I did forget, but you know, the stereo is 61 pounds by itself, just the one piece.
So what? I could lift up 61 pounds.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm an old lady.
Yes, ma'am.
And your computer, your laptop, that's not heavy at all. I could walk around holding a laptop like this.
Yes, ma'am.
So explain that to me, Mr. Burton.
Pretty much, you know, we just, there was a house full. Kevin's friend was there, Jesse, his girlfriend.
Weren't they helping you?
Well, yes, but...
They were helping you load your stuff onto the truck.
Yes, ma'am.
So you weren't even moving the 61 pounds worth of stereo equipment yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
After you moved out, were there any other lawsuits filed between the two of you for anything else? Rent, anything else?
No, ma'am.
Restraining? Nothing.
There is a restraining order, though, that was never been served. His father was unreliable and said he didn't even know where his son lived at.
Well, I don't understand. Who filed the restraining order?
I did against him.
For what?
Just harassing phone calls, many harassing phone calls. I have a police report on that also.
What kind of harassing phone calls?
Calls, hangs-ups, silent in the background. I actually traced it and had Quest trace it and wrote a police report on it. He called me on my work number on the night of 12/11. He called me and said, "Hey, Kevin, just wants you to know I'm still in town and thinking about you. Hope you're sleeping well at night," and hung up the phone. Took me a couple of seconds to realize who it was, and then that's when I called and updated the police report. But
Can I see the police report, please?
certainly. Yeah, I should have
Mr.
it ready
Burton,
here.
does your son have a drinking problem?
Yes, ma'am.
He's a pretty young man to have a drinking problem.
Yes, sir, ma'am, yes.
What kind of help is he getting?
I've had him through a couple of programs, and I've encouraged him to continue on with another one.
Have you encouraged him successfully?
No.
You drive a car?
Yes, ma'am.
Ever been arrested for DUI?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
How many times?
3 times.
You sound, other than this, you sound like a smart young man.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But you're going to be dead or you're going to kill somebody.
No, ma'am.
Well, you will.
I don't continue that. I don't drink and drive, ma'am, anymore. 3rd time's the charm, right?
When was the last time you were arrested for DUI?
Over a year ago.
But you're still drinking, sir, because you were drinking Thanksgiving of 2002.
Yes, ma'am, I was. Just don't get in the car anymore. Stay at home.
So far.
Thanksgiving Eve, he was out many times to go get more liquor or whatnot up the street at Circle K.
How did he get there?
In his car. It's about 2.5 miles away up the street.
You're going to hurt somebody, or you're going to hurt yourself. Your father's not going to be happy. He's going to have to come and identify you. You have other children, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this the only one that has a drinking problem?
I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
What kind of programs have you been in?
Programs have I been in? I've been to the AA.
You still go?
No, ma'am, no.
You go anywhere?
No, not currently.
How old are you?
26, Your Honor.
Life is very short, Mr. Burton. It can either be a chore or it can be a joy. And you're a reasonably intelligent person, and if you choose to ruin your life, that's really a very, very sad thing. Alcohol can ruin your life. You can spend the next 20 years in a fog.
Your Honor, may I add something?
Yeah.
The second time we went down to pick up his material, the stuff that was left in his computer and whatever else was in his bedroom, Mr. York had moved those things from inside the house to the garage. And when I got over there that night to pick those things up, Jeremy had asked me specifically to ask where the computer was at. I asked Mr. York where that was, and he said it's right over here in the middle of the pile. I asked him to show me where it was, and he went over there and he could not find it, and he said he didn't know where it was.
Does that sound
I had
right?
never located the laptop. There was me, Jesse, even Alana, our less than 2-year-old niece, was actually carrying stuff out to the garage. So, I mean, we just wanted him out of the house and in the garage. The next morning on the 20th.
Well,
on
the
28th,
question is, sir, we're talking about the computer, only the computer. Mr. Burton says that you initially said to him, it's right here,
No,
and you couldn't
that's
find
not
it.
true.
No?
He said that, ma'am.
Now, is it possible that somebody else, Mr. York, not you, of the friends that you had, took the computer?
They wouldn't do that. They were in the house the whole time with us.
That day, the next day? Is that possible?
The next day, they left. Actually, they spent the night on the next evening, but no, it's not possible at all. They wouldn't do that.
Also, Your Honor, I would like to mention when my father and I came, finally when, you know, my belongings were piled up in quite a pile in his garage.
Very nicely.
He did take the liberty of just removing all the rest of my belongings from the bedroom, which, you know, did have the camera and the case.
Well, I can't attribute to him the fact that the computer and the camera are gone. There were a lot of people involved in loading this trailer. I mean, it's one of the problems of not being sober all the time.
Your Honor, we did inspect the trailer, both Jeremy and I, several times, and there's nothing on there. There never was.
What do you think happened to the camera and the computer?
Ma'am, I don't know. It was in his personal possession.
You think he stole it?
I don't know, ma'am. It was
I
in
don't know either.
it was his house.
I don't know either. No, we moved the stuff out of the house.
Into the
garage.
Mm-hmm.
He says that the majority of the stuff was gone.
His bedroom was loaded full of stuff. His bed, his dressers, clothing in the...
Was any property taken out of the bedroom that first night when he left?
No, it was all placed in the garage.
By whom?
By me and Jesse and Autumn and...
After he left?
After he left, yes.
So somebody from your house moved everything that was in his room out in the garage.
Yes.
Is the garage secured?
Yes, it's locked with the garage door opener.
Your Honor, I think, I'm sorry, can I?
Yeah.
I think, that would be something that police, or something could oversee.
What's interesting is the defendant says that your camera and the computer were in your room. Is that right?
The laptop was actually inside of the den. He packed it up the night he left.
He did?
Thanksgiving Eve, yes.
You sure about that?
Yes, and the same night of Thanksgiving Eve, his father drove his Pontiac Grand Am home, and I get a phone call from a gentleman on his cell phone saying, how do I return this? I found it. I said, I reported it to the police. So I call his father and saying, Jeremy has lost his cell phone. Do you know where he's at? Yes, he jumped out of the vehicle after he got off the freeway. About half an hour later, I get a call from him on a payphone. I need a pickup. And I asked him where he was and who he was, and Jeremy, I'm at a Circle K. Sorry, Jeremy, you're gone.
Were you driving that night, sir?
No, ma'am, I was riding.
I was driving him home, ma'am.
About 15 minutes later, I get a call from a Circle K attendant asking to speak to Kevin York. There's a Jeremy Burton. I told her to call the authorities and not to associate with him. And the same night that all this happened, he actually locked me and my mother out in the back patio for about 15 or 20 minutes while we were on the phone calling the cops.
I'm more concerned, sir, about what happened to the camera and the laptop.
Well, this was an everyday thing. This happened all the time. I get loud music fines from my HOA, my homeowners association. One with a fine. Everything's paid up to date, but...
No, listen to me. He was a bad tenant, sir. He has a drinking problem. I'm concerned about the camera and the laptop. Because if you and your friends touched his property on Thanksgiving and moved it into the garage, which is now what you say you did, is that right?
Yes.
And he has paid up his rent until December. You have no right to touch his things and move them to the garage. Do you understand? And if you did touch his camera and his computer, you or your friends, anyone acting at your direction or with your consent, and if his things are missing, you're responsible. Do you understand? You're responsible. Drunk as a skunk as he might have been.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, if his rent is paid, you have no right to go into his room, pack up his stuff, do anything with his things, and move them out. You have no right to touch his things until December 1st. At that point, then he's no longer a tenant and his rent isn't paid. Then you have no obligation with regard to his things other than to exercise some care. Put them in the garage is a very nice thing. But you put them in the garage that night, according to you. Is that right?
And the big stuff later on, we moved that the next morning.
Sorry, sir. He doesn't have his camera and he doesn't have his laptop. And you don't know where they are. You're responsible. You have bills for those things, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Let me see them.
Yeah, sit down. Yeah, go ahead, have a seat. So all the bills for the stuff?
Yes, sir. There's various accessories.
Well, just the basic on the computer and the cameras is well over the jurisdictional limit of this court. You're suing the defendant for $5,000. That's what you're entitled to. Sorry, Mr. York. That's all. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. Once you exercise control, whatever happens to it is your responsibility. He was a tenant in your home until the 1st of December. If you moved his things out of his room into the garage, you had an absolute obligation to secure them. That's all. Listen to me.
Yeah, this is case number 309 on the calendar in the matter of Rossi versus Holden Hills. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Mr. and Mrs. Rossi, you recently got married.
Yes, ma'am.
And the defendants catered your wedding.
Yes, ma'am.
You were not real happy with the wedding.
Very upset.
And you want half your money back, which
Yes,
is
ma'am.
$3,000. When was the wedding?
August 10th, 2002.
And how many people did you have at the wedding?
120, ma'am.
Did they have a catering hall?
Actually, it's a country club / reception hall catering company.
And they provided the food?
Yes, ma'am.
They say that everything just went along swimmingly well except for some little bananas or something that weren't done quite right. So I have a few questions before we get into what you weren't happy with.
Okay.
Having done a few weddings myself, I know that you usually go for a tasting of the food and to pick the menu. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you go for the tasting?
Approximately 1 or 2 months before the actual wedding day.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's say you went there sometime in either June or July and you picked the menu.
Yes, ma'am.
And you had dinner.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you meet the chef?
Yes, ma'am.
On August 10th of 2002, did you have the same chef?
Yes, we did.
Same chef?
Yes, but she was fired that night.
We let her go that night, and we terminated her shortly thereafter.
Why?
Well, her attitude was, can't do anything about it now type of attitude, instead of, being apologetic. And
Can't do anything about what?
the fact that the plantains were not properly prepared.
Let's start. So you say there was nothing wrong at the wedding except the plantains were not properly prepared. Is that right, sir?
That was Mr. Rossi's main complaint that
I'm
night.
not talking about his main complaint. I'm talking about you do weddings. What was wrong with the food?
The only thing that was wrong with the food, Your Honor, was the plantains were not ripe and therefore were not prepared properly.
Let me hear.
That's not true.
Let's start with the first complaint.
Well, when we arrived at the reception hall and had our photographs taken, shortly thereafter, probably about 7 o'clock, we entered into the hall. There was no appetizers in the bridal room, as we had requested. There didn't seem to be any coordination.
That was in the bridal room, not,
Right.
not where the reception was being held.
Right.
So you didn't have an hors d'oeuvre to eat when you got there? You
Right.
personally?
Right.
Let's move on.
Okay. We walked into the reception hall after we were introduced, and all the salads were supposed to be in front of our guests and in front of our tables waiting for us.
Okay, so when you come into Michael and Zyda Rossi, come in, and everybody is standing around their tables, and the salads are supposed to be in place at that
Right.
time, and they were not there.
Right.
Why
That's
not?
correct. The salads were not the first course, Your Honor. The first course, the appetizer course, was a pasta course. So the pasta would have been served before the salads as an appetizer.
Well, was pasta served?
The pasta was served before the salads, ma'am. And the salads were supposed to be on the table waiting for our guests, and then the pasta was supposed to be served after the salads.
Do you have a copy of the menu?
I have a copy of the contract, and it has everything that is on the menu. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but does it say what's to be served first, the pasta or the salad?
It says that it is cheese and the fruit displays, and then it says ziti and marinara, and then the chicken and the plantains afterwards. It doesn't say that the salad should be served before.
Okay,
no.
so what's your next complaint?
My next complaint is after they served the ziti, then they served the salads, and then we had to wait an hour before they actually served the dinner. So what we had to do is we had to ask the DJ to move along with the garter toss and the flower toss and the cake cutting. And we had to do this all before the dinner. The dinner wasn't served until 9:20 p.m. And the dinner was supposed to be served in between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, ma'am. We were married at 5 o'clock. And we had to go around and apologize to everybody for not
Between
the food.
7:30 and 8 o'clock. What happened? What happened?
What happened is the bridal party was running late that day, and when we say 7:30 to 8 o'clock, it's an estimated time. 99% of the time it runs late.
Why did it run an hour and a half late, is my question. Were you having trouble with the chef?
I think Mr. Rossi's referring to the entree being served
Yeah,
at 9:20.
he's talking about the entree.
I'm not sure it was 9:20, Your Honor. It might have been closer to 9. But if the party runs late, we still have to go through all the steps of serving the meal correctly, which means serving the appetizer,
So you weren't having
clearing
any
the
problem.
plates.
You weren't having any problem with the
No,
chef. Okay,
no.
let's go next.
Ma'am, after he served...
Let's go next. The meal comes. Is anything wrong with the meal?
Oh, yeah. It was disgusting. It was nasty.
I couldn't even make out what the plantains were. They were like rotten. They were hard.
It was
Okay,
disgusting.
now what was
It was
served
supposed
with...
to be an ethnic meal.
Okay, what are you having as a main dish?
We're having Spanish rice, boneless chicken with plantains on the side.
Okay, so that was the side dish.
Right.
A side dish. That was the main problem, the plantains.
Well, the rice was nothing compared to what we had the day of our taste testing.
It was
The chicken was either overcooked or undercooked, and the plantains, half the people couldn't even make out what they were.
Well, he acknowledges that they were pretty nasty.
The rice was mushy. It was nothing what we had at the taste testing.
Okay, usually isn't.
It was nothing in comparison.
Usually isn't.
Okay.
But what did you do for them because the plantain, their side dish, was bad?
Well, as the night went on, Mr. Rossi had been drinking quite a bit. He came in drinking out of the limousine and down the aisle when they were introduced. And it was hard dealing with him. He was very upset with reason. We take full responsibility for the plantains, and we did try to make restitution. Towards the end of the evening, we told him we'd give him like $300 for the plantains. He didn't want to hear about it. Threw them at my feet in my office, where Linda Rossi had to take him out of the office. At the end of the night, I told him to go on his honeymoon, come back, and we'll discuss it when he comes back. And he came back with, Your Honor, this grocery list of 3 pages of what we think are nonsense nitpicking items.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I take the plantain out of the napkin. I said, look at what you're serving my guests. This was totally embarrassing. I threw it on the floor.
Get over it. There are worse things that happen globally than bad bananas.
And later today,
she said I could have a couple friends over.
Couple, like Noah's Ark, 2 by 2. couples, 2. So how many people did you have at this July 4th party?
About 20, ma'am.
20 is more than a couple.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michael and Zaida Rossi say wedding banquet managers Roy and Rita Vermeesh owe for a refund of their wedding reception. The Rossis say the food was inedible.
Go ahead, Mr. Rossi, I'll hear you.
Okay, I had a couple of beers. I was not drunk.
Okay.
When the dinner was served at 9:20 p.m., I took one of the plantains and I put them in the napkin. I went out to the bar area and I was looking to speak to Roy. And that's where I encountered this woman where she was the head waitress, and I asked to speak to Roy. She wouldn't let me speak to him. He was very busy. Finally, he comes around the corner, and I take him into the office. I said, Roy, can I speak to you? He said, sure. I take him in the office. I said, Roy, look what time it is. It's 9:20. I got married at 5:30. And I take the plantain out of the napkin. I said, look at what you're serving my guests. I was so upset. This was our wedding day. This was totally embarrassing. I threw it on the floor. I was upset. I admit I threw it on the floor. And I told him, this is embarrassment, and I expect a refund or I will take you to court.
Fine. How much of a refund did you want?
Well, we set up an appointment, and I asked him for $3,000.
Well, $3,000 is outrageous. That's half.
Ma'am, we had golfers come in and eat.
Did you listen to me? $3,000, that's half.
It was a real embarrassment, ma'am.
Well, you get over it.
The waitresses were rude.
Excuse me,
Half
Your
of them
Honor.
wouldn't serve water.
I want to tell you something. I'm not minimizing the fact that this was not the wedding that you planned on, that you had nasty waitresses, that the rice wasn't good, that the chicken wasn't terrific, that the meal was served 45 minutes to an hour late. I'm not minimizing any of that. What that would do is to say to somebody, never use this catering hall again because we were totally dissatisfied. But if there was one thing, and it's clear from what Mr. Rossi says, the one thing that really irritated him, the one thing that he did was he brought this plantain in a napkin and threw it on the floor because that was what was awful. Look what you're serving my guests. There should be some restitution for that, not half the cost of your wedding. Put your hand down. Are you a mother? Yes, I am. All right. Well, tell you, if you're her mother, then what you do is you say to yourself, you're going to teach your daughter a little bit of what's important and what's not. You don't get yourself totally exercised over something. You had a wedding, you got married, it's supposed to be a nice day. If the little bananas weren't right, you get over it. It's not the worst thing in the world. There are worse things that happen globally than bad bananas. And you don't expect it to be...
But you pay for a service.
It's not the whole thing. Absolutely, absolutely right. And there are certain things that are objective and there are certain things that are subjective. Attitudes of waitresses is not something that I could put on a barometer. Whether golfers came into the country club and ate your appetizers, something that you should consider before you book a country club where they have golfing people coming inside.
Well, they had assured us that golfers were
Listen to me.
there by 6 p.m.
Listen to me. You're not following what I'm saying to you. If you're dissatisfied with the service, you don't recommend them again. You fed 120 people. 120 people came, they danced. Put your hand down, Mr. Rossi. That's what your main concern was. Your main gripe was one of the side dishes, and it's true that there were only 2 side dishes, turned out to be really lousy. You had your salad, you had your pasta, you had your cake, you had chicken, you had drinks. Let's see what else you had. You had cheese and fruit display. I assume that was there. You had hors d'oeuvres. You had beef teriyaki, scalloped bacon meatballs. Since I heard nothing about that, I assumed that they were there.
I would like to compliment.
You had something with grated cheese. You had chicken, rice, and plantains. Now, the plantains were lousy. They acknowledged that. You had wedding cake and ice cream, which I assume was served.
No, they did not even serve us. They didn't even offer me and my wife a piece of the wedding cake, ma'am.
Oh, get over it.
Can I say
Judgment for the
something?
plaintiff, listen to me. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. The whole wedding was $6,000, $500. As far as I'm concerned, covers the bad plantains. Goodbye. Be happy.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She didn't want me to say anything about a dog coming in,
He came in, probably just walked into the place. Within seconds, he was out the door.
about coffee not being served, about water not being served.
I was probably rude, but I thought he was a drunk from downstairs.
About golfers eating your food, I mean, come on.
I think they should be happy and get on with their lives.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Casey versus Mogel. Step forward, please.
Business owner Melissa Casey is suing her husband's former best friend, 25-year-old student Anthony Miguel, for trashing their home when they were on vacation. Melissa says Anthony threw a party and someone backed a truck into their pool.
Miss Casey, you and your husband were going away on vacation. You knew the defendant. He was a friend of either yours or your husband's or both, and he agreed to do some house sitting for you, take care of your house and your pets while you were away.
Correct.
You came home and you found that someone had backed up into your above-ground pool, causing it to leak, causing your whole backyard to become flooded and all the pumps and everything else destroyed. That happened on his watch.
Correct.
Is that right? Well, Mr. Mogel says that he did not destroy the pool and cause the damage. It was one of his guests that did that, and if you want to be compensated, you should get in touch with that guest. That's your defense. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, tell me what happened with the pool, sir.
I threw a party on the 4th of July.
At your house?
At their residence.
Oh.
While they were away in Canada.
Now, just a second. You threw a party. Had you discussed that party with them before they left?
She said I could have a couple friends over.
Shh, please, please. Tell me about exactly what she said to you.
She said, as I was over at their house before they left.
Look at me in the eyes.
As I was over there at their house before they left, and we had agreed that I would watch the house. She said...
Look at me, look here.
She said, you could have a couple friends over, just take care of the house, and that's what I did, and I had a couple...
Now, just a second, just 1 second. What level did you achieve in school, sir?
I'm currently attending college.
As a college student, I will ask you this question. A couple means how many?
A couple friends could be anywhere from 2 to about 20.
Do you ever watch Jay Leno?
Yes.
Do you ever watch Jay Leno when he walks around asking America's youth questions like who was the first president, who's buried in Grant's tomb, who was Jimmy Carter? And you hear the moronic answers they give sometimes?
Yes.
That's what I thought of when you said a couple could mean anywhere from 2 to 20. A couple, like Noah's Ark, 2 by 2, couples, 2. That's 2. You can have a couple of friends over, that's 2. A few friends over can be more than 2. It could be 3, it could be 5. Some people might even say it could eke up to 20. But a couple is always 2. That's why when you call up and make a reservation, they say, are you going to be a couple, or is your party a party of more than a couple? Couple is 2. So how many people did you have at this July 4th party?
About 20, ma'am.
That's
20. 20 is more than a couple.
There were more than 20
Just a
people
second.
there.
Miss Casey, does it sound like you're losing? Don't interrupt. Say nothing to him.
Sorry.
Say nothing to him.
She wouldn't know anyway how many people...
Listen to me. This case is a far-gone conclusion. I'm really just sporting with him.
Okay.
Do you understand? I'm sporting with him. I'm sporting with him because this case should never have reached a court when the damage was done to the property. Hopefully, before you even got home, he would have made arrangements with the other person who caused the damage. Probably if they backed into your pool with a truck because they had had too much to drink. He would have made arrangements with that person to take care of the problem. He didn't do that. And even after you said you have to pay for this, he said it's not my responsibility. And he forced you to take time off from your jobs, pursue this case in court. Right? It goes against my grain to just say, you were wrong, sir. Please try to accept responsibility. I have to have some fun with him because I think that that's what you would like. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, it would be boring for you just to stand there and have me say to him, you're absolutely wrong.
Right.
Right? I have to embarrass him a little bit. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And if he doesn't understand it, I'm telling him right up front. And I'm not keeping it a secret.
He obviously don't understand.
Well, he obviously doesn't understand. He's going to have to be one of those kids that stays in college about 6, 7 years, maybe.
I'm currently on the honor roll in where I'm attending.
Really?
Yes.
Just tell me, Mr. Mogel, what happened on the date when this pool was damaged? You were, according to you, sleeping during this part of the party.
I was passed out around 2 a.m. and
Right.
the party was still going.
Go ahead.
And I
When you woke up, what'd you find?
A broken pool.
So why didn't you tell them that you would take care of it?
It wasn't my responsibility. Whoever backed into that pool needs to pay the damages.
Your Honor, I have pictures.
Where would you get the pictures?
Sure.
Who do you live with, sir?
With my brother.
Mm-hmm. That's a picture of the keg that him and his 20 friends drank.
Listen to me. He's a fool. He can educate himself from today till tomorrow. If he doesn't understand the fact that he had a responsibility, he took on the responsibility to house it and to pet sit, to ensure that your property was safe. while you were there. That was his job. In exchange for having the pleasure of living in your house, use your pool, take a respite from wherever he was living, but live comfortably for a few days while you were away. In exchange for that, his job was to ensure the safety of your house, because if you wanted your place to be trashed, you could have just left it alone. And your dogs would have done their business like they did here with him watching the house. And maybe some strangers would have come in, thugs, vagrants would have come in and trashed your house. But you couldn't have done any worse, right?
Right.
Okay. So instead of him doing what he was supposed to do, he had a party with 20 friends. He passed out from drinking too much. All of his friends were probably in a similar state, and they trashed your property. Now, he doesn't think that that's his fault. And if he doesn't think that that's his fault, I want him to go back and take Graduate 101 watching Jay Leno say who's buried in Grant's tomb.
Your Honor,
okay, because he's a fool. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,013.45. Get him out of here, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाह। आज दोस्तों की खिदमत में दो अनमोल तोहफे लेके आया हूँ। माशाल्लाह 35 लीटर प्लस वाली गाय। बहुत सारे दोस्तों की फरमाइश थी, क्रॉस जानवर हो, दूध मिल्क वाला जानवर हो, अच्छी कैपेसिटी वाला जानवर हो। आज ये उन दोस्त भाइयों के लिए वीडियो है। रेट भी इंशाल्लाह वीडियो के अंदर बताऊंगा, नस्लें भी आप लोगों के सामने हैं। माशाल्लाह बहुत ही अच्छी नस्लें हैं, बहुत ही प्यारी गाय है। नीचे इसके बछड़े, सेकंड टाइमर गाय और वक्फा थनों का जानवर के हर तरह की मुकम्मल डिटेल। रेट भी आप लोगों को वीडियो के अंदर बता दिया जाएगा। बहुत ही प्यारे जानवर हैं। आज शौकीन हजरात सिर्फ राब्ता करें, रेट आप लोगों को वीडियो के अंदर बता दिया जाएगा। रेट हमारा बहुत ही मुनासिब होता है, थोड़ी बहुत कमी पेशी जरूर हो जाती है, लेकिन जानवर हर तरह से माशाल्लाह से बहुत अच्छे हैं, नस्ल वाले हैं और अच्छी दूध कैपेसिटी वाले जानवर हैं। माशाल्लाह सेकंड टाइमर गए। सबसे पहले आप इसका वक्फा चेक करें थन्नू का। माशाल्लाह देखें, थब्बे जितना लिबास। जो भाई दोस्त मौका पे है, मौका पे चुआई करे, कोई ढक्का वगैरह नहीं है। और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हम जानवर की जब भी वीडियो लगाते हैं कोई भी ढक्का नहीं होता, 1 मिनट का क्या आधे घंटे का भी नहीं होता है। हालांकि बहुत सारे दोस्त हमारे व्यापारी हजरात भाई कहते हैं, खलीक भाई आप जो है ना एक टाइम का ढक्का दे के दूसरे टाइम जाके वीडियो बनाया करें, लेकिन नहीं, जानवर पे जुल्म ना हम करते हैं ना हमें जरूरत है। जानवर अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमारा वैसे भी टिकट में ही फौरन वीडियो लगते ही सेल हो जाता है। थान का वक्फा चेक करें, जानवर की असालत चेक करें, चला फिरा के भी आप लोगों को दिखाएंगे। माशाल्लाह दूध नस्ल वाली गारंटी वाली गाय। माशाल्लाह देखें पीछे गिट जितना वक्फा है, नस्लें आज शौक करें। लाइक फॉलो की कमी और माशाल्लाह का कमेंट लाजमी किया करें। माशाल्लाह इस तरह के जानवर, खूबसूरत वाले जानवर, लाइक फॉलो और माशाल्लाह का कमेंट लाजमी किया करें। माशाल्लाह ये देखें, आज दोस्तों का शौक पूरा हो जाएगा। जो भाई दोस्त कहते हैं ना खलीक भाई, आज उन दोस्त भाइयों का शौक पूरा होगा। आज जिस भाई का शौक पूरा नहीं हो मुझे बता दें, कमेंट में बता दें। और वीडियो मेरी कहां से देख